All right, hi everyone. I wanted to welcome all of you to today's webinar. Today's session will be on the Desk Support Center, and we're showing you the essentials that you need to know about how to build out a great self-service support center for your customers. Now, this is part 3 of 5 of our webinar series for this month, so if you haven't already, go ahead and visit the registration page for the remaining webinar sessions. In those sessions, we'll be looking at essentials for your agent users, as well as taking a look at business insights. And also, please check out the previous webinar sessions on our YouTube channel. So my name is Brian Suh. I'm the Onboarding and Training Specialist here at Desk. And I have here with me my colleagues, Zach and Ricky. Zach and Ricky, do you guys want to give a brief introduction of yourselves, maybe starting with Zach?
Yeah, sure. Hi, my name's Zach. I've been at Desk for a little over a year. I work with Ricky on the WOW services team. And just try to provide creative solutions for customers.
Yes, and my name is Ricky Rulin. I'm on our services team as well, handling these types of implementations for our customers, and I've been here 4 years, so I definitely have a lot of experience working with our product.
Great, thanks for joining, guys. So before we begin, just a few housekeeping items. Following our training will be a short Q&A. So as the training proceeds, please feel free to type your questions into the GoToWebinar questions panel, and we'll do our best to get them all answered towards in this session. Now, our session today is being recorded, so if you can't stay with us for the entire time, that's okay. We'll be emailing the recording within 24 hours, and we'll also be posting the video to our YouTube channel. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in and learn more about the Support Center. Zach, do you want to go ahead and start us off?
Yeah. So I'll be starting us off with some basic admin functionality. And to start, we're going to start where most people start with their support center, and we're going to create some content. All the content lives right under here, under the Content tab. When you initially log in, this is the admin dashboard you'll see, and it's split up into a few different sections. The dashboard, which you see here, team, which lets you control your agents, channels, which we'll get into in a minute, cases, which is the bread and butter of the Desk platform, and then content and apps. So let's dive into content right here. And within the content section, you'll see right at the top there's articles, which are obviously support articles. There's questions, which are public question and answers that your customers can ask and can be answered publicly. There's also topics, and this lets you sort articles within questions, or excuse me, this lets you sort all your content within key topics. And to just start off, let's just add a test topic right here. And also with the topic, you can add a topic description. And what this does is it will let you put a little short blurb explaining more details about the topic on the front end of the Support Center itself. And you can choose to toggle the topic off and on within the Support Center. And this lets you kind of control your content. If you're working on a lot of content behind the scenes and you don't want it to be displayed in your Support Center, you can go ahead and toggle off an entire topic. Allow questions. This will allow the topic to be allow public questions to be assigned to the topic. So when a customer comes to the public question form, there'll be a drop-down of all available topics for public questions, and they'll be able to categorize their questions into that topic. Relevant brands, this is more of an advanced section, but this lets you choose which brand that this topic will live in. And we'll get into brands a little bit later. So let's just go ahead and add the topic. As you can see, it was added right here, test topic. And I'm going to go ahead and toggle it on because I did it previously, and it's as easy as that. Also on this page, you have the ability to reorder the topics, and this will change the order in which they render on the front end of the site. So if you want certain topics towards the top of the index page or the topic page, you'll be able to quickly just drag and drop and change the order just like that. You can also toggle back in and adjust settings that you didn't adjust previously, or you can delete the topic if needed. Now that we have a test topic, let's go ahead and add a test article. So I'll just click the article tab, and you can see right here you can sort all your articles based on the topic that they're in. And right now there's no articles in test topic because we just created it. So let's go ahead and add one. It's as simple as just clicking add. And let's just give it a title or subject of test article. You can see it's under test topic, the subject is test article, and I'm going to click add. And as soon as I click add, it's going to bring me to the edit article screen. There's a lot going on here and a lot of control you have. You're able to save it as a draft, and also even if it is a draft, you can control whether or not this article shows up in the support center. And what that means is you can have articles that can be used to reply to cases, but don't necessarily show up in your support center, or also internal articles for employee references. Below that, you have the topic, which can be switched from the original topic that was selected. You're also able to add keywords, and these keywords will help help with the search results. And if an article pertains to certain things and you want it to be listed higher in the search results, these keywords can help control a lot of that functionality. Quick code will let you quickly bring up reference to the topic in the agent responses. And then brands here pops up again. You can choose to have it inherit from all topics or select an individual brand. And again, we'll get into brands in a little bit here. Also, you can add a macro, which relates to the agent side of things. And from there, you can add attachments like PDF file or Excel file. And this is really nice because you can reference them within the article and link to them within the article, but they'll also display at the bottom of the article as a downloadable attachment. So let's just go ahead and copy and paste some text in here. I have some text already arranged. I'm just going to copy, just as a quick example, and paste it right in. I'm going to click, let's go ahead and show this in the support center. And I'm going to click update. And now that it's updated, it gives me a few options. I can view it in the support center, or I can go back to the article list and manage other articles and add articles and so on. But let's just go ahead and view in the support center for now. So here you go. You can see the test article. All the paragraphs are there. I can vote on the article, whether or not I found it helpful. And with that, it will have a rating on the back end that you and your agents can review and try to make the article better and improve upon it from there. Next up, we're going to go back into the Content tab, and we're just going to look over some questions. Now, these questions are submitted on a front-end form right here, Ask the Community. Oops, excuse me, Post a Public Question. So with that, the topics that I mentioned that you're able to toggle off in the admin, they appear here. So the test topic that I just added appears there. And I can ask a test question. And so as you can see, as I type, it's suggesting articles on the side based on the words in the subject and the message. And this is a great resource to kind of prevent your customers from asking a question that may already have an answer. But I'm going to go ahead and ask anyways, and I'll get this one final prevention from duplicate questions saying, hey, these might help you, but let's just go ahead and post your question. So I've posted the question. You can see it here. I'm able to add more information to it. Also, an agent is able to answer the question. You'll see here the only question in test topic is the test question. And with that, I can click on it. I can set a language for it. I can move the topic. If the customer didn't select the right topic, which sometimes happens, I can also feature this question, which will push it towards the top under public questions. And I can choose to allow community answers or not allow community answers. And what that does is that will allow other customers, not necessarily the original one who asked the question, to chime in and kind of provide support. And you can really create a community aspect with that and allow customers to help other customers. I can also choose to hide the question if I feel like it's not helping anything or if it's irrelevant, and update. And from there, we're going to go into channels. Again, that was a lot of the content section. We covered articles, we covered questions, and we quickly covered topics as well. There's a lot more that can be done there, and our support center is a great resource for all of that. Also, our support team. Now we're going to channels, and within channels, you'll see if you have multi-brand enabled, there's a brand overview. And just to touch base real quick on brands, what it allows you to do, it allows you to, if you have multiple products or if you have some white label companies or brands, you can set up basically a separate kind of support center for each individual white label or product. And with that, they can either share the same theme or they can have completely separate themes, a totally different look and feel, and also a totally different domain name if you really wanted to separate them. But all the cases and all the content are managed from the same admin and agent, which is really useful and powerful. From there, we have the Support Center channel, which we just touched on. It's your forward-facing portal that allows all your customers to access their articles. They can view their cases right here from the Support Center. They can also create cases. They can edit their profile if that's enabled, and also perform searches and quickly email you guys. The next channel is the email channel. This is probably the most important channel. There's customers who don't use our support center but use the email channel, which directly ties into the agent functionality. So you can add extra email inboxes here, extra outboxes. There's also widgets that you can embed onto your main site. And also here you can edit your reply themes to add more information or change the verbiage, and auto acknowledgments to let your customer know that a case has been received and updated and so on. And then there's also some advanced settings. The next channel is the chat channel. And if you have agents available, you can set up a live chat functionality. So whenever an agent's online and is routing, they can instantly communicate with your customer. And with that chat channel, you can also embed a widget on your site, which connects directly to the desk agent chat functionality. So if the customer is on your support site or your live site, they can access the chat and your agent directly. Also with the chat channel, there's various third-party add-ons that tie directly into the agent and can be easily integrated. From there, there's a phone channel. The phone channel on itself right now is by itself lets you log phone cases. And again, there's many integrations for call software where you can add seamless integration from your calling software. The next channel is Twitter. This will let you cases be created and handled either via direct messages or @mentions. So if a customer DMs you or @mentions you on Twitter, it will automatically create a case, and you can reply doing so. And similar to Facebook, comments and so on can end up becoming cases, and replies will be sent back and forth via that channel. So that sums up channels. Like I said, there's multiple channels, whether you have multi-brands enabled. The support center is the articles and public questions, while the email channel handles all the email functionality. And then the chat, phone, Twitter, and Facebook are various forms of direct communication. From there, we have custom fields. And what custom fields allow you to do is allow you to add increased information for your customers and your agents. So if we went into cases right here, and we went down to cases again, there's a custom field option. So with the custom fields, if I click add, I'm just going to call it demo. And for the key, I'm going to call it demo as well. And so when I add this into the theme or the case theme, it would be a simple liquid snippet. Depending on the custom field, it will start with ticket, customer, or company. and then underscore custom, and then underscore the key you put here. And what that little snippet will do is it will automatically populate the custom field with all the necessary coding within the theme. And there's a few different types. There's a simple text input, which is a one line of text. There's a number input, which will only accept number values and can be increased and decreased incrementally. There's a true false, which obviously is true or false, yes or no. There's a date field, and there's also a list field. The list field seems to be one of our most popular fields, so let's go ahead and add that. With the default value, you have the option to add a please select, and your customer will see this please select, but the value returned if they don't select anything will be null. So let's just add a few values here. And if I wanted to erase a value or rearrange the order of a value, it's as easy as selecting it, and I can just move it on up, move it down, or delete the value completely. And there you can see our demo field has been added. And again, just like the topics and various other things in the Support Center, you can go back and click the gear and adjust settings and add value, in this case, add values or remove values. And with that, there's a few different types of custom fields. There's a case type custom field, which is only related to that case. And then there's a customer custom field. So if you wanted to set up some type of like VIP customer, you could add a custom field called VIP and name it whether true or false. And then when that customer submits a ticket, you'll know that they're VIP or they're important, so that ticket should be handled right away. And then you could set up a rule to do so, to flag that ticket and so on. From there, there's a company custom field. This will let you add extra things outside the normal default information about the company. And also, you could set up a similar VIP field there. And beyond custom fields, to implement these into the theme, you would use the advanced theme editor. So I'm going to hop over to the advanced theme editor. I'm going to go back to the dashboard, and I'm going to go to channels and Support Center. And within the Support Center tab, you kind of have an overview, which gives you an overview of your settings. And then you have some advanced settings. You can control your portal users, which in this case is your customers. But we're going to go into web themes. And I'm just going to click the current default, the current theme that's selected as the default. And you'll see this window pop up. And this is where you can control almost everything related to the look and feel of your Support Center. It's the same tools we use when we're customizing customers' Support Centers. So the first tab is look and feel. So you can add a header logo right here by simply selecting and selecting the image and uploading. You can also add your favicon icon. You can also select and change the default font. So let's just do a few things real quick to demo what's possible with the theme options themselves. So if I change the header background color, as you can see right now it is blue. Let's go ahead and make it red. So I'm going to click Save and continue editing. And when I refresh this page, the header background is red. So right there, you have a lot of control over your Support Center without editing any code. Now it's green. So let's change it back to just kind of light blue. And let's increase the font size for the content. And I'm going to overly increase it just to show as an example. And this relates to the font within the article itself. Now you can see the font size within the article is a lot bigger, which would make it easier to read for people with poor eyesight, if that's your customer base. Now we can knock it back down to a lot smaller font size of 12, and click Save. And now when I come back and refresh, the font is almost unreadable. So let's just go back to the default of 17. And also, this layout right here, it lets you select whether or not you want the sidebar on the left or right-hand side. So let's just go ahead and move the body to the right, which would move the sidebar to the left. And now when I click Save, you can see the sidebar is on the left and the body is on the right. So again, the theme options, without editing any code, gives you a lot of customizability. If you don't have access to a developer, this is a great way to change the look and feel of your support center. From there is the Advanced Theme tab. First, let's go over integrations. This is where you can set up other integrations, Twitter, or Get Satisfaction. And the Get Satisfaction, as you can see right here, this is pulling in community discussions from Get Satisfaction. So basically, it lets you pull in external discussions about your product and your customers right into your support center, and it integrates seamlessly. Now, the next tab is Customize Content. This is where you can start to customize things a little bit more than the Look and Feel tab and the theme options. And here you can change the naming and the company name up here in the header. You can also change the phone number on the Contact Us sidebar. You can also add some page footer content, which would appear in the footer, and some custom styling. So with this custom CSS, it will override, if done properly, it will override any of the default styling. So if there's something in the theme options, if there's something you want to change that's not controllable within theme options, and you know a little bit of CSS, you can add it here, and it will be added to the header of the theme, and it will override anything within the default style sheet and/or theme options. The next tab is the Advanced Theme Editor, and this is what we use the most for customizations for customers. It's broken down into several different pages throughout the support center. There's the header section, which controls the title and some metadata, some meta information. It also loads the style sheets and has some inline styles through the theme options. There's the layout section, and what this really controls is the visual header here, the search bar here, the sidebar here, and the footer here. And each one of the other sections basically controls the middle content area. So within page index, this section would control the gridded topics and articles that are displayed here, as far as browse by topics, sample general, sample products. That the page index template controls the way those are queried up and displayed. And from there you have the article template, which is the article page, obviously. The topic template, which lists all the articles within the topic. The search results page, the question and answer page, the email, and the email and the question and answer are broken up into 3 different sections. There's the new page, which is the initial form and the creation. Then there's the pre-create page, which was that pop-up window telling me that this article might help, but I can go ahead and submit it anyways. And then for question and answer, there's the show page, which displays the question and allows other people to answer. And then for email, there's the email confirmation submitted page. And it basically just tells your customer that the email has been sent and you'll be right with them. Then there's also the chat template, which is the chat new screen, and then the chat pre-create. The chat new, again, is the form, And the pre-create is the pop-up window, which will tell your customer if an article exists, that an article exists, or they can go ahead and initiate the chat. From there, you have the My Cases page, which is a list of all your customer cases if they're logged in. And just to show you a little bit more of this, they'll have, if enabled on your support center, they can click into, and they're logged in, they can click into My Cases. And what this does is it lets them see all their submitted cases, their current status, the agent it's assigned to, the case ID. So basically this is like a front end of the agent, but for your customers. So I can click into any of these cases, like the test question case I just previously created. If I click into it, oh, never mind, I chose not to display that anymore. So let's go to a different case, this one that's pending. First, let me switch back to view. Sorry about this again. So now if I go into this pending case, oh, that looks like a blank case. So now let's go into this open case. And once I'm the customer and I'm in this case, I can see the case is open, it's still unassigned, and I can add more comments to it, like, hey, I just found out this isn't working either. And from there, I can add more comments, I can upload an attachment such as a screenshot. I can also resolve the case. So this case, this is no longer an issue. I can simply click resolve, and that will close the case both on the customer's end and on the agent side. From there is a few other neat things that Desk supports as far as mobile and responsive functionality. The theme you see here is fully responsive as it breaks down. I have it pulled up right here in an iPhone simulator. So you can see it's fully responsive, it's the same theme, it's the same support center. Broken down onto the iPhone, and it has its own mobile menu, and it also has its own mobile search, which instantly brings back results right there. But if I hit enter, it will actually take me to the search result page. And from there, if I go back into admin, there's some other mobile options. Within the admin and under advanced settings, you're able to turn on the mobile theme. Now this mobile theme is different from the main support center theme. It's actually a separate theme, a separate editable theme where you can kind of limit the customer's experience, especially if you're in an area where phone service might not be as good. It won't load the full responsive theme. And just to give you an example, I've just toggled it on, and I'm going to click Update. So I'm going to go back to the iOS simulator, and I'm going to click Refresh, and it's going to know right away that I'm on a phone, or maybe not. Oh, excuse me, it needs to be enabled for all brands. Now when I go back to the iOS simulator, you can see it loads a much simplified version of the support center. And basically it gives you a list of topics. And if you click a topic, it gives you a list of articles. And then if you click an article, you can read that article. So again, this is a much toned down version than using the responsive theme, but will still give your customers access to all the articles and topics to review support. And I think that about sums it up for me. I'm going to hand it over to Ricky now.
All right. So I wanted to cover just a few more topics that are, kind of our more complex features to allow you a more custom experience for your customers. So the first thing I wanted to go over is Liquid, the templating language we use in all of our themes. What we're looking at here is the documentation for it that's hosted on GitHub, and this allows you to access data from your Desk account. So we won't go back into like the web theme editor, but if you go in there into the code, you'll see all of the Liquid that's available. It has these squiggly brackets around it, and that allows you to access stuff like case data, customer data, company data, etc. So this is a great nifty way to do a more custom experience for your customers. And we also have our own documentation available on our support center. So we have this article list of Liquid variables. So we would pick our Liquid object in Desk. So if we click case, we'll show you all of the Liquid variables available to you. So whether you need to grab the case ID, the subject, etc. There's all kinds of things you can do. So it's great to know that you have all of this data available to you when you need it. Another topic I wanted to cover was our single sign-on solution for the support center. We call it multipath, and this allows you to control who accesses your support center. You might have your content, your topics and articles, they might have sensitive information. You don't want them open to the public, or you might want to lock up your email, Q&A, and chat forms so you don't have random people coming to your support center and opening up cases that your support team has to deal with. Now, this probably sounds like it's complex to configure and set up and get started with, but it really isn't. While you do need a developer to set this up, we do have sample scripts in roughly 10 different languages that you can use to get started. So, if your developer is a Ruby guy, you could send him this code right here, and he could host this, grab your account and API keys, and you're up and running in 20 minutes. So it's definitely very easy to set up, and we have a lot of customers that are using this. Wanted to show you a quick demo. So right now, if I go to my testing support center, www.ricky.desk.com, it redirects me to this login page because it's password protected by the single sign-on. So if I click on sign in here, now I'm signed in. So I generate the multipath by clicking on my name, and now it says I'm logged in to my support center, as you can see right here. I have a logout option. I can access the My Cases section, etc. So it's very easy to set up, and allows a very custom experience for your customers. The next topic I wanted to cover was our multilingual feature. So if we navigate over here, so Udemy is a great customer of ours that is using the multilingual feature. So what they've done is they've translated their entire support center into other languages. And this isn't just their topics and articles in the knowledge base. This is all the labels in their support center. So if we go over here, let's click on German. As you can see, every label is translated. So, the topics, their brands, every single aspect. So this is, a great way, as you're growing your product and business around the world, we're supporting roughly 40 different languages. And just to, I know Zach went over our admin earlier, but just to show you that part, so if you go over back to the content section, if you're in articles or topics, we have this translate section here. So you click on that, and this is where you're able to apply all of the translations for your topics and articles. And for all of the labels, you can come in here and what we call snippets, and they're just liquid variables, which I covered earlier. And we have all of the default snippets from the themes in here. You can apply translations by selecting the custom text here and selecting your language. And you can even create custom snippets if you have a very complex, support center design like Udemy. So very straightforward. And also, if you, let's say you need to go live in 30 languages, it's going to be a very large project. So one way to make that easier for you is if you provide your translation for the topics, articles, and snippets in XML files, we can actually import those for you. So that's something, you could talk to your account manager and set something up with our services team to handle the implementation. Let's see. And the last thing I wanted to cover was our multi-brand feature. So Zach did touch on it a bit. Allows you to set up support centers for different products or brands and manage them from one desk account. And I just wanted to give you some customer examples. So we have this new customer, Connection Media, and they handle implementations for numerous customers of theirs. So I wanted to show you how right here they have one customer that they're supporting, then they have another one with a completely different design, completely different knowledge-based content, and then we have another one of their customers where it doesn't even have any content yet. So, you can have completely separate designs and everything is managed all from one desk account. Let me pull them up. Zep Lab. And another great example of our multi-brand feature is Zep Lab. So while they have different products, they're all running off one web theme. So what they did was they customized one web theme to do subtle changes depending on the product selected. So right now, it looks like if we go into their baseball product, you'll see this background and the design changes. If we go back and we select golf, then you get a golf background on that homepage. So this allows you to set up one brand, which is one support center for each product or business, and you can still maintain everything in one web theme and make subtle changes. Obviously this is a very custom design, so you would need a web developer to handle this sort of implementation. One other thing is you can set up a CNAME for every brand you need, so you don't have to have the .desk.com in the URL. A CNAME is a DNS record you create with your hosting provider, such as GoDaddy. So you could do support.desk.com, very easy to set up, and then you maintain full branding of your support center. Brian, I think that was the key 4 items I wanted to cover. Let me pull up this guy here for you.
All right, thanks so much, Zach and Ricky. That was really helpful, and thanks so much for sharing your expertise on the Support Center Advanced admin features. Just to go over a couple of final closing things. As a reminder, please register for upcoming webinars and also check out our previous sessions on our YouTube channel. You can always visit our Support Center to find great how-to set up and use Desk articles. If you ever need further guidance, then please don't hesitate to contact our support team at support@desk.com. We have just a few more minutes. Let's go ahead and just field some questions now. Let's see here. One of the first ones that we got pretty early are, how do we actually get to the admin area? Ricky, do you want to handle that one?
Yeah. So if you go to your account, so let's say your Udemy, it would be udemy.desk.com/login, and from there you could log in to the agent, the admin, or the business insights interface, which is our reporting tool. And once you're in any of them, there's a drop down in the top left, and you can navigate across all of every single section of our application.
Okay, great. Another question that came in here, and I believe this was covered earlier, but Zach, can you move articles to different topics within the Support Center?
Yeah, very easily. If you're on the Edit Article screen, just below on the top right, probably the second box down, there is a topic header, and then beneath that topic header, there's a drop down. So if you drop down, you can select the new topic that you want the article to appear in, and if you click Save, the article will be moved to that topic. Just something to note, an article can only live in one topic. It cannot live in multiple topics, but topics and articles can both live in multiple brands.
Okay, great. Maybe, Zach, you can field this other one as well. Are keywords searchable on Google? The keyword, and I believe they're talking about the keywords within the articles.
Searchable on Google, I believe it only affects the returns of our search results, but keywords are exposed in a liquid element. So what could be done is those keywords in that article could be added to the meta information and the header section, and then from there it would eventually affect the results on Google. Yes.
Okay, great. I believe we have time for one more question here. Ricky, we got one here. Can you talk more about what multi-branding is?
Yeah. Well, let me see. So let me get out of here, pull up Sky. Yeah, so, I think it makes sense if I go back in our admin. So if we go to channels, we have our brand overview section here. So, essentially when you create your account, the Support Center available is your default brand. And you don't have to create more than one brand, but if you do, you'll end up with these additional brands you can navigate around here. So if we go to brand 2, you'll see we can go into the customize section here. This is where we would set up its CNAME and the various settings available for this specific Support Center. So if you don't have a CNAME set up, the URLs get this brand ID appended. So essentially, if we copy that into the browser, this would display the second brand because we're appending the brand ID. So, it's just a way to create multiple Support Centers, from one desk account.
Okay, great. Looks like we do have a couple more questions. Please feel free, if you guys do have to go on to other meetings, please feel free to disconnect. We'll go ahead and just answer a couple more questions here. Ricky, maybe you can get this one. How do we enable access to our customers so they can view their cases? Do we need to generate a login for each customer?
Yes. So let me go back over the project portal. So I did go over the single sign-on, but we also have what we call the desk authentication. So if you go to Channel Support Center Private Access, you'll see this authentication method field here. So you can choose multipath if you want to share your users' logins and passwords, but you might not even have that available, and you still want your customers to log into the Support Center. So you can choose the Desk.com authentication method, and then save that. And what this would do is allow you to still have the private portal available on the Support Center, but to access it, your customers would have to create a login account. So they would enter their email address, it would send us the registration email, and from there they would set their password. And then, it's that easy. They're up and running, and they can log in. You still have the same, settings where you can hide every page or just the forms, and then they can still access the My Cases section.
All right, and let's go with one more. Zach, maybe you can field this one. Is there a way to set up alerts so an agent can be notified that a case has been created, not just when a case is assigned to that agent?
Yeah. Yeah, we actually use a similar alert on the support side, but it would be in cases, and you could set it up via rules or also notifications. Probably notifications is the best one. Or Ricky, is that right? What would you
Well,
say?
I mean, you just have a business rule that would send the email notification when a case gets created. But you know, we might want to do another webinar that goes into the rules in depth because that's its own conversation.
Yeah, there's a lot of customizability there. But yeah,
All right, well,
that's easy to set up.
okay. Thanks so much, guys. And if you guys do have any further questions about setup or anything not related to Support Center or even related to Support Center, please feel free to email support@desk.com, and they can definitely assist you with these questions and for guidance. Once again, thank you everyone for joining. We will go ahead and post this to the YouTube channel, so please do watch. Hope you enjoyed the session, and thank you.